Hi there, and thank you for joining me for today's live reading of Managing Mischief by Alyndra Quinn, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Ashton. It's too hot. Anticipation and nervous energy zing through me, overriding the efforts of the truck's AC. My thoughts race to accept that I, Ashton Evans, nerdy, awkward scientist, am now officially a submissive. Contractually. Signed, sealed, and willingly delivered into the care of none other than Zachary Ingram, the overwhelmingly handsome man with deep green eyes, perfect, silky dark hair, and a panty-melting devilish grin currently navigating us through chaotic city traffic. His off-the-charts hot looks alone send the butterflies in my stomach into a throbbing dance party, but they're far from his most attractive features. Nor are the other obvious things that make him one of society's most eligible bachelors: wealth, connections, and charisma that all add up to power. Zachary commands attention simply by breathing. Those aren't the things that drew me out of my self-imposed solitude since the death of my husband, though. At first, it was his calm, collected, authoritative charisma that drew me to him like a magnet. But now, it's the way he looks at me with profound interest on every level. Physical, intellectual, and emotional, like he's hungry for every part of me. Beyond sexy. We've only been together a couple of weeks, and we've plunged into a depth of intimacy I didn't even know was possible. He's irresistible, and he's why I agreed to go shopping, of all things. Shopping. I hate shopping. Loathe it. But I've discovered that I love pleasing Zachary, and he's decided he wants to buy all my underwear now that I'm his submissive. So here we are. We pull up outside a sleek, modern-looking building with a mirrored glass front with exquisite etched in sinuous black lettering on the door. A good-looking man opens the car door and helps me out. A valet for a clothing store? That's weird. I glance up at Zachary, giving him the side eye. What kind of place is this? His low chuckle is pure sin. Exquisite is an exclusive boutique and day spa. I know the owner, and I've reserved a room on the 3rd floor. Come with me, beautiful. Taking my hand, he leads us through the door into an elegant reception area. The entire room is decorated in white marble, and a statuesque, sophisticated-looking woman in an expensive business suit smiles at us from behind a counter. Hello, Mr. Ingram, Miss Evans. Welcome to Exquisite. How does she know who we are? Zachary smiles more confidently than my uncertain one. Hello. He notices my nerves and squeezes my fingers reassuringly. Mr. Fairchild has ensured your private dressing room is prepared as requested. Nadia, your assistant, will show you the way. Who's Mr. Fairchild? Miss Tall Blonde Sophistication gestures toward a curving metal staircase to our left, which has a petite brunette, presumably Nadia, waiting at the bottom. Her shiny hair is pulled into a sleek ponytail that trails to her mid-back. A modest black dress shows off generous curves paired with sheer stockings and 3-inch heels. I've never felt more underdressed in black slacks, flats, and a blouse in my life. My hand in Zach's keeps me moving in the right direction as I try to make sense of our surroundings. Did she say private dressing room? Is that even a thing? This is a spa and boutique? I ask no one in particular and inwardly cringe. There are no visible signs of either type of establishment in sight. Nadia gives me a practiced, professionally welcoming smile over her shoulder as we follow her up the stairs. Yes, Miss Evans. Your first visit? I nod, as if that wasn't blatantly obvious. Well, the spa is further back on the main floor, the clothing's on the 2nd floor, and the 3rd level holds accessories and the private dressing rooms. How nice, I reply weakly. Zach squeezes my hand, and glancing up, I fall into his heated and mischievous eyes as he grins wickedly. I swallow hard as shivers run down my back. The man is just too delicious. I could never get enough of looking at his gorgeous green eyes and handsome face. As we reach the 2nd level, Nadia turns and addresses Zach. Would you like to browse the 2nd level or go to the 3rd floor first? Do you need any measurements before we begin? He says. Nadia turns and assesses me from head to toe. I suppress my urge to squirm. She meets my eyes again. Size 6, petite. 34C, Miss Evans? My eyes widen and I nod. She smiles warmly. It's my job. What size shoes do you wear? 7, I reply, trying to keep my voice even. She looks at Zach. Unless you want something custom made, that should be sufficient, Mr. Ingram. Custom made? His reply is steady, smooth authority. Let's look around and see what Ashton likes. Once we go upstairs, you can bring us further options. She nods her assent and steps back to let us pass by. Zachary lets go of my hand and places his palm on my lower back, guiding me through an open archway. Oh my God. I've walked into an erotic wonderland. Blood abandons my brain on the way to my cheeks as I think about walking through here with Zach touching me. I scan the large room, beginning with the left wall, which is full of corsets and bustiers of various coverages and styles. The back wall contains bras of all kinds and panties in every color of the rainbow, if those tiny scraps can be considered panties. The farthest part of the right wall displays sleep sets that, despite being sexy, look like they might actually be for sleeping, with matching robes. Silk, satin, and lace all look completely decadent. Guess I might not be sleeping in t-shirts and sweats anymore. Near the back is an array of dresses that all scream sexy, not just the low-cut, peekaboo, barely there ones either. Even the more modest ones have lines, draping, and cutouts, ensuring the wearer will turn every head in a 10-mile radius. Displays and racks are arranged on the floor with spacing that allows for discreet conversations between shoppers. Baby dolls and teddies dominate a large section. The selection of skirts varies from leather to sheer netting to lace. Iridescent materials shimmer, ranging from glorified underwear to full-length slitted skirts to some that are only a few crisscross straps of fabric. They devoted another sizable area to outfits made from latex and leather. The displays closest to us on the right hold costumes and outfits for roleplay. Zachary's intense regard carries a tangible weight as I slowly turn in my head and lift my eyes to his. I whisper past the nervous lump in my throat. I packed the wrong type of dress. I'm sure it's perfect for the dining room, beautiful. I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. Almost as much as I want to see you model some of this for me. His wicked smile has me licking my lips as my mouth suddenly dries. Let's take a look. Compelled by his guiding hand, I move toward the bustiers and corsets. The click of Nadia's heels following behind us barely registers as my mind stays stuck in an image of modeling lingerie for my delicious dom. Zachary. Watching the emotions cross Ashton's face as she takes in the displays is a treat. Her nipples broadcast their presence through their thin blouse. As we near the first rack, I cup her nape so I can feel the beat of her pulse beneath my fingers. What are your favorite colors, little one? Blue, green, and purple, sir. I wonder if she realizes when I address her as a submissive, she automatically calls me sir. I doubt it, but it makes me damn pleased to hear it. Her pulse quickens, and I'm surprised to see her eyes devouring a dark purple bustier of see-through mesh featuring a silver floral print overlay. It's paired with a G-string and thigh-high black silk stockings edged at the top in the same silver floral pattern. She'd be irresistible in the ensemble. When she doesn't reach for it or say anything but moves on, I glance at Nadia and incline my head. She offers me a grin and makes notes on the small tablet in her hand as she trails behind us. Ashton considers a deep blue velvet corset laced with ribbon. She reaches up to stroke the rich fabric and makes a small hum of approval. Then she peeks at me, adorably flustered, as if I haven't tasted every inch of her body. What do you think of corsets? This choice doesn't surprise me. The single item has more coverage than the entire first ensemble that caught her eye. Stepping behind her, I slide both hands to cage her ribs with a small squeeze beneath her breasts. I lift them slightly and rumble into her ear. I'd like to lace you into one so that you feel held by me all the time, Mischief. It'd be almost as fun as peeling you out of it. Her breath hitches and she leans back into my chest. You like that, do you? She quivers as I nip her ear lightly, then recalls we're in a store and straightens up, glancing around nervously. No one in here would blink if I stripped you to the waist and put that on you right now, sexy. She squeaks in protest and hastily tries to step away from me as I chuckle. Surely not. They have changing rooms for that. Since I want to get her upstairs and out of her clothes, I let her continue wandering, knowing it won't be long before I capture her again. She stops to admire a burgundy lace teddy ensemble. After caressing the fabric, her shocked gaze finds mine. This lace isn't scratchy at all. It's soft and stretchy and wonderful. Feel it. Grinning at her, I wink. I'll feel it when you put it on for me. Her eyes dive for the floor as her cheeks flame. I spare a quick glance at Nadia, who's helpfully making notes, and I encourage Ashton to keep looking. As she does, I point out a black body stocking and a low-cut midnight blue silk and lace chemise to Nadia. A stunning black and silver corset paired with a matching lace drape skirt and panties catches my eye. Nadia says softly, "The stitching on that bodice and skirt will catch blacklight. It's magical." I think of the dancing-themed nights in the club lounge. Are there strappy heels and silk stockings available as well? She nods. Yes. Would you like those wrapped now, Mr. Ingram? Yes, please, I respond, and then close the distance to Ashton, who's moved on to bras and panties. Placing my hand on her nape again, I inquire, which type do you prefer for working? She points to a high-cut, low-rise pair. Those for work. Boy shorts for home. Running my thumb over the column of her throat, I nod. Okay, we'll get an assortment. Let's keep going. I'm eager to see you and your choices, sexy. I'm relieved when she's drawn towards several of the skirts on display. I growl in her ear. You have amazing legs. You should wear more skirts and dresses. Much easier access to your delectable ass. I give it a playful squeeze, which makes her giggle and squeak. Zachary! Despite the protest, she presses back into my hand. My Mischief is such a good girl who really wants to be very naughty. Since no one's really getting naked in the display area, I turn to Nadia. We'd like to see our changing room now, then bring in a selection of dresses for us to consider as well.